Welcome to another video. First of all, before starting the video, I'd like to thank you all for 100K subscribers. It's been a blast making useful videos for you guys. Thanks a lot. I really mean it. Now, let's get back to the video. So, I recently talked about the GPT OSS-20B model in my previous video. To be honest, I'm not impressed with the model because you can't run it locally due to its size, and even if you could, you have a better option, which is GLM 4.5 Air. However, I didn't talk about the 20B model in that video because I wasn't able to test it at that time. I've tested it now, and I have some interesting thoughts to share. So, let me tell you about it as well. If we talk about the 20B model, then it is actually a 21B model that comes with 3.6 billion parameters and has 32 experts, out of which only 4 are activated per token. So, that is kind of cool as well. The model apparently scores similarly to O3 and O4 Mini in their benchmarks, but that is not entirely true. Let me tell you about it. So, I tested it on my own tests, and it is pretty bad at coding. I can't really use it for coding at all. Though, it is good at tool calls, which is great, but many times, it does get a bit worn out, and the tool calls stop working. If we look at the benchmarks, then none of the code it generates works, even with reasoning set to high, which is a bit of a bummer. So, this model is rather made for talking, but that is where some of its training lacks as well. A prime example is that sometimes, if you ask this model to tell you how to walk a fish, which is a funny question and nothing offensive, it tells you that it can't answer that because it's bad or something, which is hilarious to me. So, yeah, they have extremely censored the model to the point that it doesn't even want to talk about something it doesn't know and considers it offensive. The model is really interesting. When a smaller model is made, you need to compromise in some sections to excel in others. Like the Qwen 3 general small model is not as good at most stuff because that's the thing about smaller models. They can't compress the best data set into a smaller model. But you can make it lack in some aspects and make different models for different tasks that excel in them. A prime example of this is Qwen 3 Coder Flash, which was released like 4 or 5 days back, or the Devstral model by Mistral. These models are trained specifically for coding and tool calling, which allows you to use these models pretty easily with things like RooCode, Kilo, Cline, and it works. But a same-size model like Mistral Small or Qwen 3 Small doesn't work with those things because they are general-purpose models. To be honest, I never use these models for anything, but I do use the Qwen 3 Coder Flash or Devstral model because I can keep my AI coder running when I don't have internet or when I want a privacy alternative. So, yeah, this model is not as good for me. Though, I may use this model for general chat, which I actually don't do as much, to be honest. But you may find it useful for general chat with web search or something. Though, it does work with RooCode and KiloCode fine. So, you can check that out as well. Also, I did test the bigger model with reasoning, and it's still pretty bad. It doesn't come close to GLM 4.5 Air, even without reasoning, which is a bummer. So, yeah, that's an issue. Now, if you do wish to use these models with Roo, Cline, or Kilo, then you can also use them. Let me show you how you can do it. But first, let's talk about today's sponsor, Dart. Tired of juggling tasks across different tools? Dart combines traditional project management with powerful AI features that actually get work done. Beyond organizing tasks and boards, Dart's AI can brainstorm project ideas, generate task lists, and even complete entire assignments for you. Their composer-like AI agent understands your full project context, so you can simply chat with it to create, edit, or delete tasks naturally. The real game changer is the custom agents. You can create custom agents that trigger from the built-in integrations or a N8N workflow or custom webhook for full customization. You can create a coding agent that pushes pull requests to GitHub, a marketing agent for campaigns, or a mailing agent for outreach. Then just assign tasks and watch them get completed automatically. Plus, Dart integrates seamlessly with your existing workflow through their MCP server, connecting directly to Claude, ChatGPT, and other AI tools you're already using. Most features are completely free, with premium options starting at just $8 per month. Check out Dart through the link in the description. It might just transform how you work. Now, back to the video. If you're using the local model, then you can just download and install it from Llama, and then just head on over to whatever it is that you want to use. In RooCode, just make a new profile, then select the Open Router or Llama or whatever option, and then choose the model, and you should be good to go and use it. You can do the same with Cline as well, where you can go and then select the provider and then use the same model. If you wish to give it a try before committing, then you can also use KiloCode, which gives you about $15 of free credits that should be enough for you to use it. You can just go ahead and choose the models here and then use the models accordingly. One thing that Roo and Cline are still lacking is the option of setting reasoning efforts. Yes, none of them have implemented the reasoning effort option yet, and I hope that it is implemented soon, as that is required at many times. Another thing that I saw is that the model's reasoning is quite bad. For example, with high reasoning, it mostly only reasons for about a max of 2K or maybe 4K tokens, which is pretty low. I don't know why they did that either. I do think that the chat format in general talks with this model is quite good. But again, it seems that they have trained it on synthetic data with extreme safety, which makes it not a pleasing experience at all. I was excited for this release, but OpenAI again disappointed me. Apparently, tomorrow GPT-5 is launching, so I'll wait for that, and I don't think that it will be anything extraordinary either. I hope that it beats Sonnet if that happens. That is mainly about it. I thought to complete my testing video that I posted yesterday, and again, thanks for the 100K subs. Overall, it's pretty cool. Anyway, share your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel. You can also donate via Super Thanks option or join the channel as well and get some perks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.